Welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering. Jordan leading out, blazing fast, Goblin Guide, but Ted's looking to show him a whole nother definition of speed. 2 damage on the first turn. What will Ted have in store? Cracking a Polluted Delta. Burn is thought of as a pretty fast deck in a historical context, but man, combo decks and Legacy can potentially just get you on the first turn. One of the reasons for the widespread use of Force of Will. I mean, Force of Will also pushes through your combo as well, to be fair. Now we've got a Brainstorm. Now this is main phase, so Ted will be almost certainly drawing a land off of Goblin Guide. It's one of the only reasons why you'd want to do that main phase. And, oh, actually keeping a 1-lander. Wow. We'll see, must have a Dark Ritual. No, Chrome Mox, okay. Pitching Reanimate. Oh, and Flooded Strand. I'm pretty sure that just has to be a mistake. We got a Collective Brutality escalating, and Gristlebrand going to the graveyard. Jordan is actually on a 1-lander, but it may not matter. He may not be getting another turn. We've got Lotus Petal and Chrome Mox. We got win icons from a previous match. And Goro's Vengeance is going to bring back that Gristlebrand. And talk about some counterplay. Going way over the top. 7/7 lifelink. Ted likely to just combo off and win here. Now, I have seen Tin Fins players in this type of setting be comfortable enough just using their Gristlebrands repeatedly over the course of like 3 turns. Just keep bringing back a Gristlebrand and swinging for 7, gaining 14 life during the process. There's something to be said for that. Depends on what your kill is. But if you have like a couple of Gristlebrands and you've got the Goro's Vengeances, that is a consideration when your opponent's land screwed. I mean, Jordan's on 1 land. If he doesn't draw land... Oh, and he does. So, Eidolon. And no land off the top. Gristlebrand coming back in. And this is going to allow for 7 more cards. Though Jordan, at this point, down to just 6 life. Getting hit for 7 and 7. So if Ted has another Gristlebrand in the bin with another Goro's Vengeance, he may just pass the turn. Otherwise, he's going to need to attempt a combo out. Oh no, he actually passes the turn. I mean, things aren't going to get much better. Exquisite Firecraft and another land right off the top. And 8 damage coming in. With Eidolon out. Yeah, no, that does it. Wow. Supremely punished there for not getting that extra land. So Ted coming up short despite getting Gristlebrand out. Losing game 1, very unusual. Versus Burn. I mean, post-board, Burn has some sideboard options that can really wreak havoc here. Personally, I'm a fan of Fairy Macabre, the most versatile answer. It's a free spell, so if your opponent is on like a Reanimator strategy with Chancellor or the Annex, you can still utilize that. It has just overall a lot of advantages. Leyline of the Void is probably the most powerful single cards that you can be using. I mean, as a playset. Leyline as a single card literally is not actually very good, but as a playset, having that 4 Leyline of the Void gives you a reasonable chance of having it in your opening, and if the deck cannot win with a Leyline out, then that is often the kind of default place to start with Graveyard Hate for decks that can afford the space in their sideboard. Now, if your opponent can win with a leyline out, generally then people don't find it's worth the cost, because you can't really draw into it, which is a bit of an issue. So you can't keep like a naturally strong hand and potentially draw graveyard hate. Or if you're playing cantrips, you can't draw into them. Grafdigger's Cage, Tormod's Crypt, Surgical Extraction. There are so many quality graveyard hate cards. Jordan does have a Goblin Guide. And Ted's Ponder yields nothing. So no lands in the top, I would imagine. Goro's Vengeance. We've got a lot of glare here. I'm like tilting my head like it's actually going to help. It's not going to help. It's just video footage. It does not care about your angle. But it looks like an Entomb for Gristlebrand, who will be coming back to the table shortly with that Goro's Vengeance. And with 2 Rift Bolts suspended, Ted pretty much needs to just do what he's going to do now. You do not want to take a minimum of 8 damage on Jordan's turn, plus, realistically, you know, he's got 2 mountains up. You got to generally assume that's going to be at least 6 damage. Ted could be very, very dead on his next turn. So, a bunch of Lotus Petals, though, going to make this easier. Oh, and a ton of Dark Rituals. And Tendrils of Agony. So, there we go. Ted taking it down. He is using a Tendrils kill, which is actually relevant, as a mini Tendrils can be a weapon versus burn. There are certainly games, depending on how things go, where you could consider just running out a mid-rangey Tendrils, something for like 10 or 12 or 14, just non-lethal damage. I think you probably take any Tendrils, I mean certainly at 14. At that point you only need to unearth a single, or shallow grave a single Gristlebrand for the win. But just gaining the life can be worthwhile as long as you're leaving yourself with a mana base. You wouldn't want to like move all in with Lotus Petals and have no mana, but you know, if you're potentially going to be able to use a future Goro's Vengeance and have a Gristlebrand in the graveyard, often worthwhile, or at least a consideration. I actually don't know how often it's the correct play. I can certainly think of examples where it both is or is not. Now, Goblin Guide. Really the ideal start for Jordan, I'll give him that. It's a really tough matchup, but his deck doing what it needs to do, minus sideboard cards so far. But in terms of just your general game plan, Goblin Guide really is the workhorse of the deck. Monastery Swiftspear gets a lot of the attention. It's a bit splashier, and it can work out better at times. But you need to do a bunch of extra with Monastery Swiftspear to just keep up with that consistency. You know, you're swinging for 1 on the first turn with Swiftspear most of the time. Pretty much, I mean, on the first turn, all of the time. And we see Fire Blast, Price of Progress, and Lightning Bolt. Unmask is going to take the Fire Blast. And yeah, I can't see. Let's trying to think if I can actually piece together. I guess it's just 10 damage so far. Yeah, you might actually just Fire Blast there. That's probably correct. That would stop Jordan from drawing an extra 7 cards, I think. If he's taken 10 damage, he'd be at 10, go down to 6. Gristlebrand brings you up to 13, so you can only draw 7 cards. I think that's got to be worthwhile to just throw out that Fire Blast. If Ted gets those extra 7 cards, I mean, that's just such a... Oh, it's over. It's over. we've got a Children of Corliss, and that's going to regain all of the life lost. And this is, yeah, he's even got the tendril. So mercifully, oh sure, we still got all these. Ted absolutely has it covered. But yeah, that Fire Blast may have actually been the difference there. Jordan, I'm sure, will review that. He is actually, I'd like to welcome him to playing Legacy with us. We've had Jordan, Dave, a bunch of guys jump in. Some of them playing Burn, Reanimator, just some of the cheaper to build decks, and just having a good time. We actually gave out a Gaia's Cradle to one of them. Dave actually won a Gaia's Cradle, so it has been a lot of fun seeing new players try out Legacy and just watch them kind of learning the format and enjoying it. It's been really cool. So if you want to do that, every Wednesday and Friday, we are playing live over Discord. You might find yourself on camera. That is all for this one, but don't worry, there is a lot more. You can check out our older videos, and we're always putting out new videos from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Massachusetts. If you want to help the channel, of course, you can like, subscribe, share, tap that notification bell so you can know the next time our new videos come out. Thanks for watching.